them doing much for the environment in general, and seeing any good decisions really. And also, I was thinking the literature is brilliant. Really chance to get on it, so it's got a big audience.
I do have no interest in this. This is the whole thing. We
do have Hot Press magazine is putting in a 1,000-word article, so I think it's out this Thursday on the campaign, which is based on the Girl Against Solar campaign, but also with Declan Wall, so it has the two together. So I do think that the energy that's being pushed into this, and I think more people are speaking about it, it's breaking through. And I think it's like, they don't really want it to break through, obviously, but I think once there's enough awareness out there, even if you might think the media wants to kind of cover this up, whatever. But I think if we kind of keep hammering at it, it will eventually break through. And with the late age, obviously, if you could get onto those audiences, then I think it will be over fairly quickly.
Actually, I see Ryan Huberty a lot around where I live. I'm really going to wrap you
need to become his stalker.
Then you stick around.
This gentleman here, I think, had a question.
I'm just going to kind of contribute a little bit to it, if I may. I'm from We the People, as you know, and we researched this many years ago. From the corporation, the Dublin Corporation at the time, they gave us a list with a bit of a push what they put in the water. You don't only put hydrofluorosilicic acid in, you put H2SO4, chlorine gas and bars of aluminium sulfate. And the reason why we researched this a long time ago, the contracts to do this are worth millions, tens of millions every year. And yourself, that lady there, I agree with all what you were saying. The reason why they're doing this is for massive voluntary compliance by the people. They have
chemical caution.
You're actually brainwashed with this because to be compliant, to pay income tax, which is only voluntary compliance, household charges, and all this austerity that's coming down the tubes. You don't have to pay any of this, because we may get to do a talking at some time, because we actually show you how you don't have to pay notices or household charges, because a notice in law is not a bill. They've actually medicated you to believe that a notice in law is a bill. It's not a bill. All you have to do is return the bill. But they brainwash people through the tap water with all these additives to believe that you have to do things. You don't have to do anything. Because the government is actually a corporation. It's a racial corporation in the stock market. And these gangsters here are not here. Because actually what they've done to the people, they've created a sovereign bond with the birth certificate, and they're making money off you in the stock market every day. Okay? And you don't have to comply with the government because it's only a racial company. Okay? And this is why they're medicating water.
Here.
Okay.
No one to
there as well.
One last, yeah.
Just this permission.
I think it's a really brilliant campaign that you're doing. But there's two sort of questions. One was if it is the case that in Germany the fluoride is taken out of the water because the water workers themselves decided that they weren't going to put it anymore. Basically, the engineers decided that they weren't going to continue fluoridation. That was one kind of half of it. And the other half was, have you talked to people working in the actual waterworks as to see how they actually feel about what they're putting in, because they can't be totally blind to what they're putting in. Thanks very much.
Yeah, so I'll say goodbye now. I have to round it up. Say goodbye. That's another thing we're doing now the next month or so. We're going to be going to the water treatment plants in Kerry and basically kind of finding out, because it's better. I think people can hide behind corporations and departments and all this kind of stuff, but I think everyone's an individual, and you speak to them at a kind of human level. It's harder for them to kind of lie to you. So it's definitely an issue that we need to take up, and other people can in their own counties, find out exactly who the individuals are putting this into the water, because people have to be held accountable. It's not good enough to say it's just your job when you know it's harming the health of the nation. So anyway, I'd like to just say a big thank you to Deirdre tonight for hosting this event. So you can come here and have your safe tea and coffee and you're like, oh yeah, nothing white. Yeah. And a big thanks to Sammy as well for arranging all the room and getting the staff to talk. And if anyone hasn't already, we have a database that Shane has been passing around. And we also have a donation box box down at the bottom of the door. This campaign is a voluntary campaign and nobody's getting any money, it's just going all back into the public awareness campaign and also towards the sport piece.
Just on, apart from talking about issues with family friends, is there anything else that people can do to help the sport contain specifically the sport?
As for what we have been doing just recently, we started off a letter campaign. There are a few of them floating around there. There's been a letter that we are sending into schools. And it's just been written by ourselves, and it's basically an apology of the 50-year experiment in the water. And there's one on the table there. If you can, there's a few of them around.
Open the letters.
Yeah, if you open up the letters, anyway, we
pile of them over there. Actually,
It was actually written on behalf of the government. We became the government really, and we're apologising on their behalf because they won't do it. So
yeah. But if anyone has any ideas themselves, because it's both, like it'd be great to get other people involved if they think that they have any creative ideas, like because we want as much people.
Flash mob.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing we need to do. Because you know, if anyone wants to get in touch, we have the website, and I really need people to drum up, especially in Dublin, this area. We need to drum up as much support as possible. It's coming to the court case. I think that it can actually win if we have enough public support. That's what I'm visualising happening, that we have just huge public pressure, and the person, even if they're pro-state, they couldn't turn against it. Because there's no people saying we want this out, you know, it's going to happen. We definitely need to do lots of publicity in the next couple of months, so if you can give us our details.
Thank you very much, everybody. You can ask Aisling a few more questions here when we finish up. I just want to re-mention the series of talks that we're having here. And I will say to people, it's great to clean up your water, but it's also really, really empowering for your brain to clean up your diet. And we will be giving a few talks on very powerful nutritional steps that people can take, because whatever about being a bit doped out by poor water, it's also amazing when you get the chemicals out and clean up your diet, and as a nation we become stronger people and more energised. So our next talk is actually about food waste. It's on the 26th of February here, and it's by Mindy O'Brien from the Feed the 5,000 campaign, and that's a campaign that just feeds 5,000 people on a day from food that would normally go to waste. So we have lots of very wonderful things, so you can look on our website. So thank you very much for coming, everybody.